Okay, abusia be makwa ba sonko so edeba POG Media so abusia yembonra eye yensem no eye ECG scandal missing containers no abusia ya arrest eye Indian guy bia say onye guy cry Indian man and Chinese phobia abusia omo ena containers no say Ghana yem paying for and I say omo me behind that ECG chairman for ne ade no omo eton omo na one of the Indian man no ono no ordinance in bo e de atodwa say obelidi national security e de akona pofie wa bona podin say obelidi national security e de akona pofie na NAPO ena say eton ono ne containers ne ye den e de man Kevin Taylor aba bonten aba true hot fire ebusia enye asam keto akra ye pese be me abedwafo no be me akọ na yakọ akuti ensema ekoso ewo political highway so na answer na be kono owo ensem kan bi afa share your comment section like na share ma for so answer into me nkebi aha POG Media so political trending stories are make waves no yenso ya jatum say ye de bebremo madam say.
This one thing I really want to talk about. ECG, the minister Wakasa Messi. The NPP as a political party is full of foolish people. Messi, Jandam Bienwe Beyejuma. Now the energy minister John Jenapo has spoken and so far arrest is being made. And the minister Naka or see. Yes, statistics prosecuting Kofwa. Mema Kakobia Metna Radio Sunka say the minister is persecuting people. The ministry, Mamon Kasa Ankwasi 7 because you people are telling the minister say so Achia Kronfwa on prosecute. So when people yes, statistics you put people before court to jail them, Mema Kakoti Anakobi Winibia Metna wun to me Asempa Kwasi Ampenyi Bia Metna Eyedian Joy News. The government is stepping on the fundamental rights of Ghanaians. And you, Martin Pebu, everything you say, take your time and research before you speak. Sometimes you are quick to speak and it embarrasses you. It is a good advice I'm giving you. I respect you, but I think you are trying too much. Asamoba Atnase, Yedim Franklin Kujo de IGPD Yina Mana Bodam. Do you know Sir Franklin Kujo? Ghana DDEP. Do you know? But this guy is still supporting MPP's nonsense in opposition. Franklin Kujo, aunenia what to send me. DDEP by no. Nisika be 80% but today he's sitting there talking about human rights and why we are not supposed to go after people. And these are people we cannot sit in Ghana and entertain. They don't know what they want. They don't even know whether it is 1 or 2. These are people who know shit and they lie to you people, making you people think that they are smart. Mumusa Franklin Kujo said, how much money did he lose during the DDEP? He lost all his investment, Onika Pre. But this same person will sit there and say, the NDC is not doing this. The NDC, shut up and let the NDC work. Now, Energy Minister Wakasa, and it's got to do with that. ECG, the containers na Ayira Ewo Infa, Ayira Ewo Temaport. 1,347 containers. Now, an Indian national has so far been picked up over the missing containers. The suspect claims they were sold to him last year. Now, and the government initiated serious investigations. Now, yachi India ni, nanya India ni kwa chino, yasachi other Chinese. Now, you know the funny thing, containers no, NPP for no containers na nom they are Chinese in India for no, na cables no woman no, oman nane no. Enti it becomes so difficult to track even the content of the container. It is 1,500 and 1,300. What they were doing over time, and they say at ECG, on their system, they have their 3,000 containers at the port. You will see, say, by the time you come to the port, realistically, they don't have 3,000 containers. They have taken the containers, given it out, and on the system at ECG, it reached 3,000. It is, oh yeah, Onya smart now almost system so now so we have 3,000 containers stacked. But when you go to ECG and you go to check for yourself the real numbers on the ground, you will see say 1,500 or 1,300 have been stolen and no NSC. Now the minister were initiating investigations. They are on the ground and they are searching. Now, today in Kwama Chinipa almost 30. What is happening? They say, Yachi India Nibi Wajatum, or see the containers, about 40 of them, they were sold to him last year. Now, another 22 Chinese, they have been arrested. They are saying, yes, it is the Ministry of Akuffo, the MPP for no. They moved the containers and give to. Let's listen to the minister and the Ogranti interview.
The most important one has to do with the whereabouts of those containers.
Indeed.
The briefing I got this morning, and let me comment the national security operatives and the law enforcement agencies. The information I got this morning is that already they've traced about 40 of them to a particular terminal or warehouse in Pung, which belongs to an Indian man of extraction. And they've confiscated all the 40 containers, and they are moving them to a secure location. The man indicates that those containers were sold to him last year, and so that's a subject of a matter of investigation, and law enforcement agencies would ensure that the law takes its course. There are also reports of some other areas that they are picking intelligence. They will trace all of them, retrieve all the containers as soon as possible, and put the perpetrators before the courts of competent jurisdiction. Let me just sound that when we start prosecuting these people, let nobody come to say we are witch hunting. These are properties of the states. Every legitimate and legal means to ensure that we retrieve them and to hold all those behind these acts to account. And so we'll continue to work hard.
So that's the minister. Thank you, Mr. S, for reminding me. It's exactly 10 p.m. in Ghana. My man finished the story way. It wasn't just the Indian and then through the security agencies, normal arrest. They also arrested some Chinese. You can see 8 Chinese Ghanaian arrested over missing ECG containers. We know for a fact to say the NPP, they sold these containers and that they were quick to go to market. Oh, and these are containers. They know what is coming. They know. Yachi Indiani, Yachi Chinese before, they are getting close to about 30 or over people who have been arrested. And they are going to lead us to NAPO. They are going to lead us to NAPO because NAPO was the energy minister. How these people got access to the containers. So what these people do, they say, containers what they do is only custom officers be a containers. But when it comes
to a matter of investigation that we retrieve them and to hold all those behind these acts to account. And so we'll continue to work hard.
So that's the minister. Thank you, Mr. S, for reminding me. It's exactly 10 p.m. in Ghana. My man finished the story way. It wasn't just the Indian and then through the security agencies, normal arrest. They also arrested some Chinese. You can see 8 Chinese Ghanaian arrested over missing ECG containers. We know for a fact to say the NPP, they sold these containers and that they were quick to go to market. Oh, and these are containers. They know what is coming. They know. Yachi Indiani, Yachi Chinese before, they are getting close to about 30 or over people who have been arrested. And they are going to lead us to NAPO. They are going to lead us to NAPO because NAPO was the energy minister. How these people got access to the containers. So what these people do, they say, containers what they do is only custom officers be a committee bomu and containers. But when it comes to ECG under NAPO on the system, it is 3,000. Into a airport one na omo containers no ko what they do is say omo yi wires na ewom ni nyina na wires no eya na rubber wo ho into omo yi rubber na ka kopa no man nane omo wi anom the container na back. This time they were not fortunate and our society into our society na container na carbon they could not bring it back. All the containers that left the port in 2024, the latter part of 2024 ya ba beto aba no omo move sa container ni nyina. Right now, the Chinese, the Indian man, they have all been arrested. Indian in 40 containers in the world. This is a developing story. We know and we trust the process. Jakpa won't find the misro. Jakpa, the punisher. He's there. And Jakpa will follow it. Jakpa, another one has come. Arrest for me. Thank you very much, Jakpa. All right, now. And it's exactly no position at check. Now, Momianko a reporting Gigim, the whole Ghana, Obiang report to it. This is the first time you are seeing it. Every Ghanaian, because we want you to know the truth. With me, Obiashe, because I'm the this is the report, investigative report on Electricity Company of Ghana's, that's ECG's container hold-up at Tema Port and related procurement issues. This for Ministry of Energy and Green Transition. Prepared by Technical Committee, March 2025. And this report, Obiang Ghana, that we are ahead of the. How did Kevin get this? Because I control Ghana, the media space. I have over 77 people on the ground. Ghana. There's nothing I want. I'm in Sanka, and whatever we get, yen fire and Sanka, the raw detail no. So this is it. Now, so we read the report now. You get to a session what's so much detailed finding. Report near 103 pages, 103 pages. Andrew and Addo, myself and my team, we were on phone the whole night, about 4 hours. We read through it and made sure we ticked every single, crossed every T and dotted every I, because we wanted to know all the facts. 103 pages. Not a kind document to come and break down for Ghanaians to understand. Into Udru page 4, you will be a friend. Detailed findings. Say, report to we na me water marking am the two system ni ma energy ministry ni ba omombra magasa me boa. These are the facts. Bibia ni ma obi abetuma ka say a contest wo Ghana. Now, let's move forward. Yankan ade bi wa ha. We are going to read and explain. Oko page 20 in the report. Key decisions that led to the container hold up at the port. These are the key decisions. The container hold up after the committee investigations, nyabotre obeti ase obewon MPP omoya beifo nkwasiafo. We need to jail all of them. Now 4.1.1 key decisions that led to the container hold up at the port. 1. ECG decided to use costs, insurance and freight as their preferred incoterm in engaging local suppliers of foreign goods, requiring that ECG clears the containers upon arrival at the port. 2. These are all the key decisions leading to the hold-up. 2. To facilitate this, management decided to set aside and transfer 5 million Ghana cedis each week into a shipping account to be used by the shipping department in clearing ECG containers that arrive at the port. Into ECG, imagine say, containers are omo de beba nyina omo beyi no, omo bie a department. And omo imagine say, almost every time biano omo di sika betum 5 million Ghana cedis. Now that department, where your investigations, the omo uncover and make kind sure mess have a back. That department, the ECG department, all that they did was they were putting 5 million Ghana cedis in it. Send your beya every time omo container bed reports na no ma clear. That was basically to sit down every week biano near their tomb. Container bedru ya ECG ship container bia bedru ya na no ma clear. They didn't want to incur any debt at the port. In the investigations, omo say there was a department like that. Omo ECG edisikatum every time. The biano sika dem 5 million Ghana cedis. It's container no bedru port na no my den omo yi. Yanko enim. Now okay point 3. Now remember, 5 million Ghana cedis na every week. Every week biana ECG transfer 5 million tum. And ya 1 month, and ya 2 months, and ya 3 months, and ya every single week. Na ECG 5 million Ghana. Normally, I got to sa department na accounting shipping department. Omo say every week be 5 million baby dem. Normally, I clear ECG goods or port. ECG was never supposed to encounter anything like demurrage. Say ECG port a ship and now abeka tema port na ECG nyesika nyi because there's always money sitting and waiting. Now point 3, this is page 20. You have a published document na mama. Point 3, the committee noted that this initiative greatly assisted with containers being cleared without them piling up at the port. Inti omo who say in the investigations, no, omo who say 5 million number 2 week biara na eboa emomo ye dey omo tumi eyi omo nyoma free port wano abra Ghana emboka. Point 4, page 20. However, management in 2022, omo say emom afi eye 2022 no BBC management no stopped transferring the 5 million Ghana cedis into the designated shipping account. Almost suddenly, 2022, ECG management led by Dubik Mahama, that time not Kelly Gajapo and a board chair, they stopped moving money into the shipping account. Sa account nana every week bia omudi sika tum 5 million Ghana every week tum send a ECG container be drew porter omeyi fast no every week no 2022 no mujaye Dubik Mahama na MD Kelly Gajapo and a board chair. Suddenly they stopped. Now the question is so mujaya wa wo hwe idea de besi. It means to say ECG containers be drew porter. They cannot clear it as frequently as they used to, meaning there's going to be backlog. It means containers are going to pile up. Because the moment you stop the flow of money, it will be clear goods. Every container that comes to be it will be stuck. Now the question is, why did they do that? Page 20 in the investigative report. Point 5. The containers then started piling up at the port due to the unavailable funds to clear them. In 2.5, the containers started piling up after Dubik Mahama or MD or Kelly Gajapo any board decided to say they did not give any reason, they stopped. So the containers started piling up. Now point 6, the Material and Transport Directorate raised the issue at a management meeting but received the response that there were no funds. You see, Transport Directorate no more ECG at a management meeting not Dubik Mahama or MD nitiwo and a transport for na share a shipping and logistics no raise say boss 5 million na de be to a shipping account no say sika no mo jaitua your containers so air pile up Omubusa Dubik Mahama ewo management meeting no osi sikeni ho obi amfa no Jimmy nkoda sikeni ho enti omu pushiye Dubik Mahama says sikeni ho omu free onko no a and omu so ye din. Let's move forward. Now go point 7. The Material and Transport Directorate wrote at least 3 memos appealing to management to release funds to enable them to clear the containers. However, no response has been received from management regarding these appeals. Inti transport for no almost any Transport Directorate for no they kept pushing. At least they wrote about 3 letters. Akroma management and not Dubik Mahama Edda say, boss, the containers are piling. We are incurring losses. We are incurring debt. Ghana for bre Sikano air pilo or ekeba. Dubik Mahama receiving the 3 letters all told them he does not have any money to give them. He ignored them. Kelly Gajapo was the board chair. Mi jujum amount. Sena baya ochina kakobi ana kwasiebi embeka se kwasiebi ana kakobi metina radio so mbeka se ai ena ND for me. Now, young queen. Let's go to page 21. Sorry. Hey, I've gone ahead of myself. Yanko page 21 in Samuel Dawson. Ubehu point 8. This is still the investigative report. This is the first time. Minister, you must I can tell a fucking guy. Yes, I control. Now, point 8, the same investigative report, I'm say, in as much as the containers kept piling up with resultant demurrage coupled with management excuse of the unavailability of funds, ECG through the management director continued awarding new CIF contracts without using competitive procurement methods, requiring the payment of 90% of the contract sum when the supplier submits the shipping document. Now, Procurement Transport Directorate for Pushia Dubik Mahama Ekas Sikeni Wono. The same time ana containers na pile no na ECG through the board Kaligajapo Air Board Chair and Dubik Mahama ECG Director no, they were still giving a year contract to companies to be shipping containers or more things to Ghana. In fact, they were basically giving them 90% funding for assuring them to bring it. Inti Ghana for na say we are piling, nyome pile, Kaligajapo, any idea, Dubik Mahama says the same time no, they were still telling shippers to bring more containers. Busangosa, why? Because the ones at the port, your Transport Directorate for the we don't have money. We need to clear them. They are piling up. We are paying demurrage. Still, also winning funds. But you are able to still contract companies to bring more containers. This is what the investigators, auditors, the investigations, this is what they came to see. So, I say, Obi ye BB. 1, Sikana also declare your port, I stop it, Mbabium. 2, Omo in charge of clearing of the goods, air catch the MD say, management, your money pilot, a keba, demurrage chair, or this kenny. 3, the same time as Kenny Wano, Dubik Mahama management, and still air shipping your ede ba a yeteba port. Why is it so? Because I want to add intra. Let's move on. Now, point 9. Listen to point 9. Per custom laws, consignment that are not entered for clearance after 21 days of discharge at the port are registered under uncleared cargo list, UCL, and therefore become the property of the state. Almost say, during the investigations, who say, Embra or why say, container ebe ditema port. Now after 21 days, nipa na or ship container ne buy no when to man clear container na automatically sa container na ebe ye Ghana dia. It becomes a property of the state. And in this case, it's a state agency that basically imported these containers. Until right now, 21 days, the state agency has not paid to clear the containers. So it has become another state property. Into technically, Ama Manasha de Guo and a demurrage action and a still almost shipping more deba. Now, Mamin Kobe ni
abusunya wene ensema ekoso ewo political highway so Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe NAPO NHS Indian man no has strike on so or the national security for Konifi. Better man say moje pene kokoti sa audio we the MI POG Media so better man say